What is going on, fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money on the Trainer podcast. It's your boy B Mark. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a fork in the road. Now, before I get into today's episode, I just want to let you guys know that I'm currently writing a book. Okay. It's called I Am Him. And so I just want to let you guys know that in the last, since I was a fucking kid, since I was 21, 22 years old, I had this desire to write a book, but I didn't really feel like my life had anything worth writing about because I was still a kid. And so building the business to over $25 million at this point, going through all the shit that I've gone through with my addiction, I felt like it was the time to kind of get into that. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm writing a book. It's called I Am Him, and it will be completed at some point soon. I don't know when, but soon. I'm working on it right now. And as I was writing this book, just kind of documenting my life and going through some of the shit that I've gone through, I thought about this concept of this fork in the road. And a fork in the road is a place that we come to when we are forced to make a decision. And the decision that we are forced to make is to continue walking the path that we've always walked, to continue, seeing the same people, doing the same things, going through the same experiences, making the same money, having the same level of impact, and just being the same person. Or path number two is a risk into the unknown. It's like a leap into the unknown. It's stepping into uncertainty. It's going the path less walked. It comes with a lot of risk and a lot of, insecurity because there's nothing that's guaranteed. And I've come to a lot of these forks in the road in my own personal life. And I think that this concept applies on a small scale and a big scale. The first time I ever came to a fork in the road was when I was 21 years old. And I was faced with a decision and I got injured from my football season. And I had to either make the decision to just give up and quit and stop training, or I had to make the decision to, use the fitness level that I built to enter a bodybuilding competition. And so I was faced with this fork in the road to continue football or to go towards bodybuilding, which is something I'd never done before. And I'm like, I'm just going to risk it all. And I'm going to go for something that's completely unknown. I've come to forks in the road when it comes to my business as well. There was a period in 2018 where I was running Aesthetic Nation, my fitness coaching company, and I had just started PT Domination, and PT Domination was starting to take off. And I no longer had any passion or any drive to run my fitness coaching business. So I was faced with this fork in the road. I'm like, do I want to continue mentoring people how to eat broccoli, or do I want to teach people how to start their business? And I feel like a lot of you right now listening to this podcast episode have come to these forks in the road multiple times throughout your life. And I want to shine some light on this concept because I think at any point in your life, you're always faced with a fork in the road. And there are some times where those forks in the road are blatantly fucking obvious and they're staring you in the face. And there are some times that those forks in the road are on a day-to-day basis and it's harder to see them. Example of a blatantly obvious fork in the road is you come to a place where your online coaching business is starting to see a little bit of success and you still have a 9-to-5 job. And the fork in the road is okay, do I continue working my 9-to-5, which has been secure and safe for the last 10, 15 years? Or do I fucking risk it all and go for something completely unknown, completely new to me, completely, I have no fucking clue what's about to happen. Do I risk it all at a chance of living my dreams? And so those are the obvious forks in the road. And the smaller forks in the road are the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis. The decision to wake up on time when your alarm clock goes off versus the decision to sleep in. The decision to follow through on your gym routine versus the decision to skip the gym. The decision to stick to your posting schedule that you committed to versus the decision to not. And I think that these forks in the road that we come to, some of them involving major life decisions and some of them involving the day-to-day decisions. I think all these forks in the road, the road that I encourage you to choose is the road that you don't want to. The road that I encourage you to choose is the one that your entire body resists. The road that I encourage you to choose is one where there's this deep fucking calling. There's this sense of purpose. There's this voice inside of you that absolutely knows that you are meant to do more with your life, that you are worth more than fucking $25 an hour, that you are worth more than the shitty relationship that you're currently in, that you are worth more than life is currently giving you. There's this voice inside of you that knows that you are meant for more, but that voice inside of you literally goes against everything that you've built up to this point. Like that voice inside of you that's calling you to a higher purpose literally goes against all of your conditioning, your beliefs, your like habits and your rituals of like what got you here. That voice is taking you down a pathway that you've never been before. And it's likely people in your family have never been before. And it's likely that people in your circle have never been before. And it's literally just going to be you walking this lonely fucking path. And that is the path to greatness. Guys, I think the easiest way to end up like everybody else is to always choose the fucking road that everybody travels, right? Like you come to a fork in the road and you just choose the road that everybody travels. Everybody goes fucking left. And so you go left because that's what the fucking people do. You know, you like go to school, go to university, get a job, get a career, right? Like you just do what other people do, have a relationship, get married just because, stay together for the kids. Like we just follow these fucking pathways that have been pre-designed by society's standards or our own set of internal conditions or what we think our life should look like. And then as we start living our life, like so many of us don't take a fucking risk and go after the thing that we want. And like I think that my entire life, like building this to this point, was like, I'm fucking blessed, you guys. Like I'm very grateful. Like I don't take anything for granted. Like our business has done over $25 million in sales. Like I get to travel the world. I get to take care of my family. I take care of my grandma on a monthly basis. Like I'm very fucking blessed and I don't do that for granted. And I think my whole life's purpose is like, it's cool that I'm successful, but I want to be able to give more people this. Like I want to be able to share what the decisions that I made up to this point that allowed me to achieve this level of success. And one of those decisions that I made that allowed me to get to this point was like, I always chose the uncomfortable path. Always. I always chose the path that involved risk. I was always willing to bet every dollar in my fucking bank account on myself. I was always willing to chart into the unknown, into territory that was unfamiliar to me, my family, my like lineage, my friends, all of it. I was always willing to go against the grain. I was always willing to stand out from the crowd and get ridiculed because I'm doing something different than everybody else. And like that is what's led to the success. Like that is what's led to the millions. That's what's led to the abundance. Is like every day, you know, we're faced with these like day-to-day decisions that are what I call forks in the road. And you can either, you know, choose mediocrity or the path that you always travel, or you can choose the uncomfortable fucking path. And I think that before you can start making those small day-to-day decisions that actually lead you to the destination you'd like to go, you need to figure out what fucking destination you want to go to. Like you need to figure out what your purpose on this planet is. Like you need to figure out why the fuck you're here, right? And when I didn't have a sense of purpose, and like guys, your sense of purpose could be fucking anything. Your sense of purpose could be like you have a daughter that looks up to you that like wants you to provide for the family and like is like expecting like you have a daughter that you need to give a fucking good life to. Like that could be your purpose. My purpose was my grandma took care of me when I was a drug addict and she was still working minimum wage jobs. And so my purpose for like 5 years, even to this day, was to make enough money so that I could provide for her. Like that was my purpose. And so I'm like, that's the purpose that I have. Okay. So that's the direction that I want to go. Okay. What tangible goals are heading in that direction? Now that I know the place that I'd like to go, the destination like that I'd like to reach, the fucking milestone that I'd like to achieve, like I'm going to make decisions that are going to get me closer to that thing. And I'm going to choose when I come to a fork in the road, I'm going to take the pathway that gets me closer to that, regardless of how inconvenient it is, regardless of how much money it costs me, regardless of the risk associated with it, regardless of anything. Because I know that like this is the pathway that I'm going. This is the place that I'd like to go. This is the destination that I'd like to reach. And so I'm always going to choose the pathway that's going to get me closer to those goals, even if it makes me fucking so uncomfortable, I can barely sleep at night. And like that is like, because I make those major decisions, it makes it easier for me to make those smaller day-to-day decisions. Like I make the major decision to, you know, hire Adley for a content coach, which was like $100,000 US for 6 months. But that major decision allowed me to make the micro day-to-day decisions of like always fucking following through on my content, like always doing what I said I'm going to do, always doing uncomfortable shit in my content because I know like I just paid this person $100,000, so I better not waste this fucking money. So on the day-to-day, when I come to these like forks in the road, these like decisions that I must make between mediocrity and greatness, like it's easier for me to make that decision to head towards greatness because I make the macro decision to head toward greatness. And so the micro decisions just are in alignment with my macro decision. And that's how you live on purpose. Like that's how you live on fire. That's how you wake up every single day with like passion, energy, and intensity. And that's how you like burst through any fucking obstacle that life throws your way. And I think that the hardest part about learning how to take these forks in the road, you guys, and the hardest part about learning how to venture into the unknown is there's a high probability that you will fail. There's like a high chance of failure. Whereas if you just stayed at your 9 to 5 job for the rest of your fucking life and you got paid $25 an hour, like you might have a job there for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And so that sense of security isn't there. But like when you think about venturing off into the unknown and starting your own business and trying to hit $10,000 a month and trying to provide for your family with your own entrepreneurial spirit, like that, there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of risk and there's a chance of failure. And the reason that most people never walk this path is because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of the risk. They're afraid of stepping into the unknown or investing in the mentor and losing all their money, or, trying to get this business off the ground and nobody reaches out, and, trying to like find their dream partner and they end up always like, you're afraid of all these fucking things. And so you just stay on this very narrowly defined path and you just keep choosing the fork in the road that ends to more security, more safety. And the hardest part about that is when you fucking do that, you never actually realize how powerful you are. And if those of you guys that have been my clients for any amount of time, like just drop some fire and let me know if you're here. Like you guys understand how powerful you are, because the longer that you stay in the arena, the longer that you stay in the game, the longer that you choose the fork in the road that's fucking uncomfortable, what ends up happening is like compound success comes as a result of that. Like at first it's small and then it's bigger and then it's bigger and then it's bigger. And then holy shit, you're like Clayton Snyder making $70,000 a month and you're like buying your dream car and you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, it's because you just kept yourself in that uncomfortable zone. And through keeping yourself in that uncomfortable zone and through going through the fucking moments that you feel like your business is going to implode, and through staying strong when all the adversity came your way, and through all of those fucking things, what you end up realizing is the realization I came to recently, which is why I started writing the book. The realization that I came to recently was like, I'm fucking him, like I'm my creator. I'm the fucking creator. It's me. And so I kept trying to look for security and safety in anything outside of myself, but I came to the realization that like I am safety and security. It's fucking me. Like I'm the fucking one. And it doesn't matter what pathway that I choose. It doesn't matter if I go right or left. It doesn't matter if I go up or down. It doesn't matter if I go sideways or this way. It's like I ultimately am the only thing that will determine my success or failure. Me. It has always been me. It's never the market. It's never the business that I choose. It's never the path that I go down. It's fucking me. And so if I understand that like I'm my own sense of safety and security and I'm fucking powerful as fuck and like I can achieve anything that I set my mind to, if I understand that like it is me, then I will always take the pathway that heads towards my dreams because I know that I'm going to achieve them because I'm fucking him. Like I'm the creator. Like I'm the fucking one. It's me. This notion of I need to feel safe and secure is why you've stayed stuck in the same position you've been in for the last 5, 10, 15 years, is because you need safety and security. And the only way that you come to the realization that you are the safety and security and that everything that you are seeking externally is actually inside of you, and all of the solutions to the problems that you don't even know are inside of you. And there's no sense of like uncertainty in the universe because the universe is abundant and the universe is like unlimited and the universe is all giving. And when you truly understand that like you are the universe and you are abundance, like there's literally nothing that can fucking stop you. But most of you will never get to this point because you always choose the pathway that leads to more safety and security. And the only way, and I'm talking to that one person right now, I'm talking to that one person that like actually wants to get there. I'm talking to that one person that wants to fucking break through. I'm talking to that one person that wants to be the fucking example for their family, that wants to be the example for the community, that wants to like set the tone for like this generation and next generation and every generation after that. I'm talking to that one person that wants to be the fucking difference maker. The only way that you become that person, that difference maker, the person that like stands out from the crowd and does something fucking phenomenal, is you have to take risks. You have to put yourself in situations where you're forced to either fight for your life and die or win. You have to put yourself in places where there's a chance of failure, where there's a risk that you might not like see all the way through. You have to put yourself in those positions. And then when you're in those positions, you have to never quit, never surrender, never back down, never bend the knee. And the longer that you do that, and the more that you do that, the sooner that you will come to realize that the power has always been within you, because you will always be okay. Like everything that I've ever experienced in my life that I've ever been afraid of, I've always been supported by the universe. Every single fucking thing. When I bought this house, I spent every last dollar in my fucking bank. When I invested in the gym, I spent over $1.5 million to invest in the gym. When I invested in my first mentor, I spent fucking $15,000 in my bank that I did not have. And I made back that $15,000 in literally 30 days because I was just supported from the universe. And so the idea that, heading towards your dreams is uncertain is actually a fallacy, because heading towards your dreams is, to me, is the only certainty. Like heading in the destination of my goals, aspirations, and the places that I'd like to reach is my only safety. It's my only sense of security. It's my only like feeling of knowing, of staying tapped into the universe, because the universe is abundant. It's unlimited. It's all knowing. It's all powerful. And I am the universe. And so why would I spend my fucking time on this planet? I only get 85, 100 fucking years. Why would I spend any time in my life doing something that I don't want to do, or walking down a path that I don't want to go down, or living a life far below what I believe is my fucking birthright? Like, why would I spend any time doing that? I'm going to spend every last day of my fucking life pursuing greatness, pursuing the path of the unknown, pursuing the uncertainty, stepping into the unknown, stepping into the fear, taking big risks, because I know that I'm supported because I'm the fucking universe. Like, not only am I him, I'm also supported by him. Like, I'm the fucking one. And so the forks in the road where you have to choose between mediocrity and greatness, like, you've been choosing mediocrity because you don't understand that, like, you are fucking all powerful. Like, you have literally the same genetic makeup, the same gifts, the same talents, the same abilities as Gary Vaynerchuk, The Rock, Alex Hormozi, or any of the other powerful male or female influences on this fucking planet. If they exist and they're a fucking human and they've done what they've done, that means you can do it. If that's it, period. There's nothing else that can be said about that. If someone else exists on this planet that is doing what you want to do, that means it can be done. And if that means that it can be done, it means it could be done by me. Why the fuck wouldn't I pursue that? Why wouldn't I go all in towards that? Why wouldn't I risk it all towards that? And why wouldn't I step into the unknown just to see if I'd be supported or not? Because a lot of you guys aren't even willing to break free from your old patterns because you're like, oh, what if I fail? You have to give yourself the chance to fail. That's kind of the fucking point, right? Because when you give yourself the chance to fail, when you start going all in, when you start pursuing your dreams, when you start going after your fucking vision, and you're in a situation where you feel like you're going to fail, and then the universe just comes through with a fucking gift, bam, then you're like, oh shit, oh shit, maybe I could do this. And then you keep staying in the arena, and then another adversity comes and you're like, bam, I don't bend the knee. And then all of a sudden the universe fucking delivers. Bam, bam, bam. Everything you need lined up on a fucking silver platter. And like, the longer that you do this, that you just stay in the arena, that you start heading towards your dreams, like, the easier the success becomes. Like, I'm not surprised when big shit happens to me anymore. I'm really not. I took a private jet with my fucking beautiful wife, and Kirsten was like talking to me on the jet. She's like, how are you feeling right now? I was like, I feel fucking like normal. Like, this is like, I'm going to have a jet in the next 2 years. I fucking promise you. Like, and it's not surprising to me anymore, because I've spent so much fucking time pursuing my vision, pursuing greatness, pursuing the ultimate version of myself, that I only know how to do that. That's the only path that I know. And I literally could not imagine living my life any other way than to spend every fucking last waking moment of my day living my dream. I literally can't imagine living life any other way. And so the path of mediocrity is not for me. The path of being understood by other people is not for me. The path of being liked by other people is not for me. The path of blending in and fitting in with the crowd and being like everybody else is not for me. Might be for you. It ain't for me. It's not for me. It's not for my family. It's not for my grandma. It's not for my kids. It's not for my wife. It's not for me. I'm going to take us to the fucking mountain, baby. We're going all the way to the top. And like, we're coming for everyone. We're coming for Gary Vee. We're coming for Alex Hormozi. We're coming for fucking Andy Frisella. We're coming for it all. And we're coming for it knowing that, like, I'm just getting started. Y'all are in your 40s. Y'all are in your 50s. I'm fucking 32. Just wait. Wait till I'm 40. I'm telling you, I'm coming. And like, why would I not pursue that? And why wouldn't you pursue that? Why wouldn't you pursue greatness, this next level, this like a greater version of yourself? And so I'm going to bring it back to this concept of fork in the road, because this isn't about me. It's about you. And now you need to make a decision. And the decision is very simple. You've got two paths. Path number one is the path you've always traveled. Working at the same job, making the same money, knowing the same people, keeping the same friends, keeping the same relationship. Your body looks the same. Your mindset's the same. You're basically the same fucking person that you were 3 years ago. That's path number one. And the reason you've been choosing path number one up to this point is because it's all you fucking know. Maybe your parents told you this is the right path, or maybe you found this path after high school and it just felt safe and secure for you, or maybe all of your friends are doing this, so that felt like the right path for you, but it's just all you know. And it's not like this is the path that you know you're supposed to be walking down, because it's likely if you're listening to this podcast that you know that there's a fucking different path. Otherwise, you wouldn't be brought here. Guess what? You're listening to me for a fucking reason. The universe is like, you need to hear this. And so that's path number one. Path number two is the unknown. It's uncertainty. It's risk. It's hiring the mentor. It's reaching out to somebody that you respect and asking for their time. It's, quitting your 9-to-5 job. It's making the fucking commitment that you are going to be a successful, powerful online fitness coach. It's looking at your wife in the eye and being like, I fucking promise you, I will provide this life for you. It's going and calling your grandmother and being like, I promise you, you will never have to work another day in your life. And there's so much risk and so much uncertainty and there's so much fear associated with that. And so a lot of us don't do it, but I'm going to encourage you to start choosing that fucking path. I'm going to encourage you to start walking down the road of uncertainty. I'm going to encourage you to start venturing out into the unknown, into territories that people haven't fucking ventured into yet, because you will never achieve greatness if you keep walking the same path as everybody else. At some point, you must learn how to step into the unknown, step into uncertainty, step into fear, and do it knowing that you might fail. And you still do it, and you take that path every day, and every fork in the road that you are faced with always heads towards your goals, dreams, and destination. And even when it feels so fucking hard that you don't want to get out of bed, or that you don't want to look at your bank account, or that you don't want to look at the results, you just keep fucking going and you keep yourself in the arena. And then all of a sudden you're going to realize how supported you are by the universe, how loved you are by the universe. You're going to realize how powerful you actually are. And then you're going to look back at your old life and you're going to be like, why the fuck did I wait so long to make this decision? But you won't find that version of you, that fearless version of you, that powerful version of you, unless you give yourself the chance to fail, unless you give yourself the chance to not make it, unless you put yourself in the arena where there's a risk that you might not come through. Because in those moments of I feel like I'm going to fail and I'm going to keep going, and then I see success, that is when you realize how powerful you actually are. That's it. That's all. I hope you guys have the best day of your entire life. Talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.